I'm searching for words to describe the period of history that we are living through. No, I'm looking for something more like a figurative image to serve as a landmark. Landmarks don't fully explain themselves, but they offer a reference point, and without landmarks, there is the great human risk of turning in circles. The landmark I found is that of prison.
I mean, we live in a world which is a global system where most of the really important decisions taken about what is happening in that world and what is going to happen, being prepared for the future, are taken, first of all, by people whose names we don't even know, who are not elected in any elections, but who are the directors of the big, new financial structures. Yes, multinationals and World Bank, etc., etc. And in relation to whom even politicians of left or right are relatively powerless. Okay, and what do? It's not that I think they're individually monsters at all, but they belong to a system, and they organize a system in which
those who have legal employment and are not poor, they are living in a very reduced space that allows them fewer and fewer choices. Except, of course, the continual binary choice between obedience and disobedience. Their working hours, their place of residence, their past skills and experience, their health, the future of their children, everything outside their function as employees has to take a small second place beside the unforeseeable and vast demands of liquid profit. And insofar as this operation succeeds, it proposes and maintains a hallucinating paradox, for it tricks a prison population into believing that the priority for each one of them is to make arrangements for their own personal protection and to acquire somehow, even though incarcerated, their own particular exemption from the common fate. And this image of mankind as transmitted through a view of the world is truly without precedent.
What it also means is that you are making obsolete not only a way of life, but a certain form of dignity, one of the variants of human dignity. And we have such need of all those variant examples today. Stories are often about being up against it, where there's almost no choice except how do you react to that? With courage, with cunning, with caution, those sort of choices. But those big choices in which, and their consequences, which is the theme of so much in novels, those choices are no longer open to most people. For me, a story is always a rescuing operation, which is another way of saying a shelter.
Well, of the absurd?
Against the absurd, against that endless, terrifying space in which we live. Happy, I don't know, but probably there is hope in it. I think so. And maybe, that's another word that I mentioned, there is perhaps a kind of dignity in it.
People, as they pass one another, exchange glances. And some of their glances check whether the others are envisaging the same thing when they say to themselves, "So, this is life. Liberty is slowly being found, not outside, but in the depths of the prison."
And it seems to me that one has to be unflinching. And in a kind of way, I think, well, I don't know, it's for others to judge. But also, I mean, in relation to that story, I think that my gaze is steady and unflinching. And the effort was there.